I tried music production for 3 weeks and whew, it was a debacle. I'm gonna preface this by saying that this video won't just include what's being asked for in the project abstract, but if you want to cut to the chase and skip all of my hard work, you can head to the timestamp here. But if you don't, do I have a story for you? For my senior May project, I decided that I wanted to try out music production, setting my goals to be to educate myself to the point of being capable of music production and to fully produce 2 full-length songs. You know, I listen to music a lot, and it shouldn't be too hard to flesh out musical ideas, right? And I'm surrounded by musicians at home, so I'm basically set. Problem is, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no experience in music production, music composition. The only music experience I have at all is 2 years of violin experience 10 years ago, and even that won't help much. My violin teacher had to use whiteout to mark on the neck where I had to put my fingers, and had to write out the note letters on the manuscript because I couldn't read sheet music. But don't worry, Adam's got a plan. In the first week, I'll learn everything I need. Scales, chord progressions, song structure, a quick 1-week crash course of surface level knowledge. I'll also familiarize myself with a DAW, which I'll use to make the real deal. Next week, I'll produce my first song. This includes all the steps necessary to make the thing, getting the tools necessary, working out the chord progression, melodies, all the way down to mixing and mastering. And in the final week, I'll learn from the mistakes I made in the first song and try and make a second one. I know, it sounds a little too lax, I'm giving myself a lot of leeway, but I was prepared for things to go wrong. And boy, did they go wrong.
Like the basic concepts,
basics of music theory,
an attempt to teach you the basics of music theory.
So many YouTube videos. Week 1 was kinda simple, actually, at least at first. Because I was only learning the bare minimum required to produce songs, what I needed to know was pretty simple. Scales, chords, chord progressions. Super easy stuff that I got in the first 2 days. The problem was putting it into practice. Chord progressions gave me a framework of which I could build from, and only after I fully understood the characteristics of different chords and how they reacted to each other would I finally master chord progressions. I didn't. Of course not. I still haven't developed the sense that people would have to instinctively know what would go well with a certain chord and a certain genre. But with week 2 looming ahead, I had no choice but to give it my best shot. That shot involving lots and lots of practice. It was mainly just practice, you know, compile instruments together to make it sound good. There's a couple of projects I haven't taken a look at since I've made them, so it's kind of like as much a surprise for you as it is for me. I don't know what I was doing here, I was like, oh, okay. This is the chord progression. You have some, I'm gonna be straight with you, I don't know what these are called, but they are chords. What else do I have here? Moving on. There seems to be a few more things going on here. Oh, I think I tried to make like a rock song thing here. Don't worry, it goes downhill from there. You don't have to see it. I just kept practicing making songs, but not really, until I moved on to week 2. This is it. All my preparation led up to this, and my newly acquired music intuition told me what I had to do next. Yeah, woohoo, yeah, alright! Lots and lots of trial and error. I don't think I really learned much in the first week, but if my practice has taught me anything, it's that you can make something sound okay eventually if you just shift some notes around and go to town. Unfortunately, if you remember in my practice projects, rock song thing, I wanted to go in the direction of rock as the genre I was gunning for, but that did not work out. It was an issue of tools and knowledge, really. I didn't have access to the paid plugins and instruments that would sound high quality, nor the know-how about these instruments to emulate a decent performance. Instead, I went the easy route and did lo-fi. In my research, I've seen music producers dunking on lo-fi music because it's supposed to be simple and easy to listen to, making it easier to make. I decided to switch gears from my Rolling Stones aspirations to see if it was really the case. Yep. Predictable drum beat, simple song structure, slower rhythm, all made for an easier time. I first made my chord progression, built on it, and then went to the races. I don't know how to describe the workflow, but it felt like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a bass there going do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and then saying, alright, now it sounds like you'll lead to a chorus bit that sounds like way. And then it just went on and on until I slumped in my chair and looked forth at this is not lo-fi platypus of a track. Is this how music producers do things? I need to do research on this. Alright, it's the final stretch. Let's hit the ground running. From the production process of my first song and the later analysis of it, I learned so much about what I was supposed to be doing. But more directly, a whole lot of what I'm not supposed to be doing. I could be doing automation, which is basically turning knobs at specific times. I learned the importance of filling the EQ spectrum. But most importantly, that sound design is a pain, so I'll leave it to someone else and just use presets. In my second song, I wanted to challenge myself with a faster rhythm and a more energetic track. And of course, this proves more difficult than the relaxed, no-rush melodies like before. I was tossed off this rodeo time and time again. None of the chords or melodies would mesh well with the hook I wrote. Over and over again, it seemed like hope was lost. But I had a vision. A goal to make something no one has ever heard before. I picked myself off the ground, gritted my teeth, and forged ahead to tame this wild beast. And at the end of the wrestling, biting, scratching, I have brought this 3-minute song to heel, loaded with enough sound godizers to drop an elephant. And I had achieved my goal, because technically no one else has heard this track before, so you can laugh now. Please. Come on. To sum it up, I decided that I wanted to make music because I was interested in the prospect for a while, being a regular listener. This is a great opportunity to try something out that I'd never do otherwise. So I spent my senior May learning the basics of music production and put my skills to the test in the production of 2 fully fledged songs. My 2 objectives: to educate myself in knowledge required for music production and to produce 2 songs were achieved successfully, albeit shaving it a bit too close once or twice. If I had to recommend this kind of project to a person, it'd be the type that has always wanted to try something but never has, because they thought it was just so far out their reach, but it's not. If I can do this in 3 weeks, you can bet your bottom dollar you can do something like this as well. That's all I've got. Thanks for stopping by.